Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin podcast. Maybe you've heard of a Zettelkasten, and that's what caught your eye in this video. If you have, and you aren't really quite sure whether you want to start one or not, you've come to the right spot because I'm going to give you an opportunity to play with some of the ideas of a Zettelkasten without making all of the commitment to actually setting one up. You can play with cards, you can play with ideas, you can begin to feel what a Zettelkasten might do for you before you put any investment into the study. Perhaps you have this book by Scott P. Shepper, Antoinette Zettelkasten. I learned everything I know about the Zettelkasten from Scott P. Shepper. And point of fact, if you look closely, you'll find that Scott put my name on the front cover of his book. So I've studied from Scott. I've learned from Scott. I respect him enormously, and you will not ever find me saying anything against Scott. I would not have a Zettelkasten today if it were not for Scott P. Shepper. However, I do have sympathy for people who've struggled a bit with the famous chapter 11, where he talks about how to actually do it. If you want to know why you want to do it, if you want to know the history of it, this tome is priceless, and it really should be in your library if you have any interest in a Zettelkasten. Now, I have to say also that one of my viewers of my minimalist series on the Zettelkasten said that they wanted to throw the book across the room. I'm the antidote to that. You don't need to throw the book across the room. I'll help you get up to speed, and then you can feel comfortable going back to this book for all of the richness that this book contains. It doesn't have to be as complicated with the numbering system. Part of the issue with it is that Scott Shepper faithfully learned, tracked, and brought back to us exactly how Nicholas Luhmann, the creator of the Zettelkasten, did his numbering. Well, the challenge with that is that Nicholas Luhmann is famous for complexity, not simplicity. And so you're going to find out very quickly that if you want to learn how to faithfully follow Luhmann, you're in for a bumpy ride. Well, I'm all about giving you a smooth ride, and I am here to tell you that the bumps are not necessary. I could not do this version without the bumps if Scott had not brought to me the version with the bumps. If you are thinking about starting a Zettelkasten, or maybe you tackled starting a Zettelkasten and gave up on it, we're at the pre-Zettelkasten stage with this video. As soon as you know that you definitely want to have a Zettelkasten and you're committed to creating one, check out my minimalist series because it will take you step by step through creating one. What we're going to do with this pre-Zettelkasten series is we're going to talk about how to start building up some of the elements of a Zettelkasten so that you can begin to get the benefits from it before you have to make any kind of big commitment of any sort, time or money, and so that you can start seeing why the pieces that we're going to learn about came about, because they came about to meet a need. But that need doesn't arise on day one. That need that generates all those other components comes in after you've got some cards in your hands. So this is as easy as any Zettelkasten could possibly be, because we aren't going to tackle any of the elements until we have enough cards that we need them. So what are we going to do today? Number one, I'm going to tell you why you want a Zettelkasten. And actually, I'm going to have you show yourself why you want a Zettelkasten. All right, are you ready to go? This is a workshop, folks. This is not a la-la land. This is not a viewy. This is doing, because you really want to try this out. Okay, so what you're first going to do is you're going to pause the video. You're going to take out something to write on, sheet of paper, stack of note cards if you want, but you're going to set a timer for 10 minutes. Nice little timer, 10 minutes. And I want you to write down every exciting idea that came to you. Either you thought of it, you saw it, you heard it, or you read it. But it was an exciting idea that came into your possession yesterday. Okay, start your timer. Don't forget any of them. Write them all down. See you in 10 minutes. Bum, 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 bum. Welcome back. Your 10 minutes must be up. How many things did you have? Okay, kind of fun, huh? Thinking about all those exciting ideas that came to you yesterday? All right. Well, for the next 24 hours, we're going to do part 2 of this experiment. So just hang on to that sheet of paper, because for part 2, if you've got them, we will use file cards. I like 4 by 6. If you got 3 by 5, that's fine. If you don't, just tear up some tablet, take a tablet of paper, divide it into fourths and cut them up. The idea is that you want a collection of these. And for the next 24 hours, every time you think, see, hear, or read something interesting and exciting, write it down. You don't have to write an essay. Just capture the thought, capture the idea, capture the thing that you found exciting. We're going to do that for the coming 24 hours. And that's it. That's step 1. So don't forget to come back for step 2 tomorrow, because we're going to do this pre-Zettelkasten. And by the time we are done with this series, you're actually going to be underway with the Zettelkasten. And also you're going to know why you've got the components that you've got. Okay? Come on back tomorrow. Bye-bye.